Whose fault is it? When you are suffering, whose fault is it? Let me assume that you are going through a terrible ordeal today. Let's suppose you are going through something very, very difficult, aggravating. Do you think about this question? Whose fault is it? Why am I in this situation? Whose fault is it? Well, let me tell you that most of the time when you are thinking about that, there are 4 possible answers to the question. Whose fault is it? Is it your parents' fault? Or your parents' fault? Why you are suffering? Or is it because of your own decisions? Or you are thinking, no, maybe it's certain people's fault. But the worst part sometimes is when you are thinking, it's God's fault. I want you to think about this, my friend. Your parents did what they could do. They didn't know what else to do. That's a fact. You know, generation after generation, they struggle with the same kinds of problems. We all go through the same lack of knowledge as the cause of our disgraces. In fact, when you think about your parents and their own personal experience with their parents, it goes back to generation after generation of not knowing, the lack of knowledge. In good proportion, the mistakes of your grandparents and their ancestors, as well as the mistakes of your parents, is just the result of lack of wisdom, my friend. It's not the lack of love. Is it possible that you were just making wrong decision after wrong decision? Of course, now, with all your experience, you have a better understanding of things, right? But imagine if someone comes to you willing to share with you wisdom. But my friend, remember this, still, there are things that you need to learn. So whose fault is it? Your parents, your grandparents, yourself? Or perhaps it's just certain people's fault? So let me ask you this. Is it all bad what people have done to you? Is everyone a terrible person?